DCTV, if you will count us in.
Stand by, start the meeting in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the August 11th Board of Commissioners meeting. I am presiding officer and District 4 Commissioner Shakira Johnson. Welcome back. We have been on recess. I hope all my fellow commissioners got some time off and got a little refreshed. We have a shorter agenda today, so hopefully it won't be too bad. We will start with our inspirational speaker, Ms. Amaria Brown. If you'll start making your way to this front podium, and I'll read your introduction. Good morning, ma'am. I am pleased to introduce Ms. Amaria Brown, whom I had the pleasure of meeting at the DeKalb Juvenile Justice Council's A Decade of Dedication Gala. The event was a wonderful celebration of youth achievement, community impact, and the council's longstanding commitment to creating opportunities for young people across DeKalb County. It was especially meaningful to see students recognized for their accomplishments and scholarship recipients celebrated for their dedication and promise. Meeting Ms. Amaria at this event was an opportunity to connect with one of the young people who represents the potential and future of our community. As part of my continued commitment to youth development and positive outcomes for young people, I was proud to commit $10,000 in funding to DeKalb Juvenile Justice Council. I'm also pleased to welcome Ms. Amaria Brown before the board today and look forward to recognizing her and the accomplishments that brought her here. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Amaria. I am 19 and I'm enrolled at Shears Beauty Institute to be a master cosmetologist, and I'm honored to be here this morning. I'll be honest, when they first asked me to speak, I said yes, and then I immediately wondered why I said yes. But I'm here, so bear with me as I give a little bit of my story and why the IOP program means so much to young people like me. I entered foster care at 16, and I didn't meet my foster parents until I was 17. Before that, my life was, let's just say, unpredictable. Growing up, I moved around a lot, and there were times when housing wasn't secure, and I didn't know where I'd be sleeping or when my next meal would be coming. And when you grow up like that, you learn to survive. But you don't always get the chance to breathe, to plan, or to imagine a future for yourself. Some people grow up planning for college, and I was just trying to plan for tomorrow. That started to change when I met my foster parents. It felt like for the first time I could breathe. They gave me something I wasn't used to, security and clarity. And they showed me what a stable home feels like, what support looks like, and what it means to have parents who truly care about you. Simple things like asking how my day was became big things, and honestly, some of my favorite memories are just us laughing in the kitchen, nothing fancy, just real moments that made me feel like I finally belonged somewhere. Then I joined Bellroot's IOP program, and that's when I really started learning how to build a life for myself, not just survive one. IOP didn't just hand me resources, it gave me direction and it gave me structure. I've learned real life skills like budgeting, and let me tell you, that was not a skill I wanted to learn. I definitely needed it. They taught me how to manage money, how to set goals, how to advocate for myself, and how to prepare for the future I want. It also gave me people who believed in me even on the days when I truly didn't believe in myself. They helped me with housing, transportation, education, and all the things young adults need, but don't always know how to navigate. And trust me, navigating adulthood is a whole different journey after high school. Nobody tells you how expensive groceries are until you're standing in the checkout line rethinking your life. But the biggest thing IOP gave me was confidence. Confidence that I can create stability for myself. Confidence that my past doesn't define my future. Confidence that I am capable of building the life I want. And programs like this matter because foster youth don't just need a roof over our head. We need guidance, support, and people who believe in us even when we're still learning to. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Maria. If you'll stay, I'll give you a pen a little bit later. such inspiring words. Next, we'll have Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Marita Davis Johnson will be joining us later, so Dr. Bolton has volunteered to step in, and then we'll go to the floor for presentations.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you'll join me on the floor for some proclamations.
Look so refreshed up there.
Good morning, everybody. How are y'all doing this morning? Good morning. Wow, that was a strong good morning. Thank you very much for doing that. I'm still catching up from our few days off that we've had. We have a couple of important people here today. I want to say that my notes are not ready because the internet's not working. But Sarv, please come on down. And if you don't mind, well, first of all, yes. Congratulations, young man.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. So my notes are not ready, so I'm just going to wing it. But I am going to say, first and foremost, you're a District 1 DeKalb County resident, and we are grateful for you, first of all, choosing, and your family choosing DeKalb County, the greatest county in all of the Americas, right? I also want to say that it is super impressive. I can tell you that I can remember being in Canada taking spelling tests and in America taking spelling tests, and I never once got better than 80. So I'm like instantly jealous of you and impressed. That's very impressive.
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 12.
12 years old.
Yes.
And you're smarter than a 55-year-old. That's great. That's great. That's great. Well, listen, it is with great honor to have you here today. What you've done is an amazing accomplishment at such a young age, and I hope that this is only the beginning for you. As you can see, you've got the entire Board of Commissioners here. I know that our CEO is watching online as well. I also want to acknowledge, if you don't mind, Principal Amy Hoytel. Amy, come on up. The benefits of a good education, also involve a good principal, good teachers, good parents that are there to help and motivate you. So you are truly something that everyone else can aspire to. Do better, be better.
Thank you, sir.
Miss Barbara, if you would, could you read in the proclamation?
Yes. Whereas DeKalb County is proud to recognize young people whose dedication to learning, perseverance, and achievement inspire their schools and communities. And whereas Sarv Dar-Anay, a 7th grade student at Peachtree Charter Middle School in Dunwoody, has distinguished himself as an exceptional scholar and competitor, winning multiple Georgia State Spelling Bee for 3 consecutive years. And whereas Sarv has represented Georgia at the Scripps National Spelling Bee 3 times, placing 22nd in 2024 and earning 3rd place in both 2025 and 2026. Thank you. At the 2026 competition in Washington, D.C., Sarv outlasted 245 other state and local champions to become the 3rd best speller in the nation, repeating his remarkable 3rd place finish from the previous year. Whereas Sarv accomplishments extend beyond spelling. In 2024, he earned 1st place in the Georgia State Technology Fair and continues to explore his passion for mathematics, coding, technology, and innovation. He also enjoys reading, playing basketball, soccer, and swimming, performing clarinet with his school band, and playing piano. And whereas Sarv hopes to become an entrepreneur or scientist, using his curiosity and creativity to build and innovate the future. Now therefore be it proclaimed that on this 11th day of August, 2026, I, Commissioner Robert Patrick, along with the governing authority of DeKalb County, do hereby recognize Sarv for his outstanding academic achievements and remarkable performance at the 2026 Scripps National Spelling Bee, and congratulate him on being one of the nation's finest young scholars.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Come on up, say a few words.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I could not be more grateful for the appreciation everyone has given me today. So I'd just like to say a few thank yous. First, I'd like to thank the DeKalb County Board of Commissioners for organizing this event. Next, I'd like to thank my school, Peachtree Middle, its teachers, and its fine principal. I'd also like to thank my home city of Dunwoody, the people of DeKalb itself, my state of Georgia, and my sponsor for the 2026 Scripps National Spelling Bee, the Georgia Association of Educators. Thank you all for supporting me throughout my spelling bee journey. Thank you.
Mom and Dad, if you'd come on over, we have time for a quick photo. Yes, we do. Oh, we did have a word spell.
Serendipitous.
Give me one second.
What was your winning word?
What was your hardest word?
Kato Hadacho.
So that was hard for you?
Okay, spell it.
No, it was the hardest.
For other people.
I'm going to test my my ability to say words that I've never seen before in my life, and then ask you if you can spell it. Silate?
Yes, okay. Silate, P-S-I-L-A-T-E, silate.
Wow. Impressive. Just in case you didn't know, it's an adjective lacking ornamentation used especially of pollen grain walls. So, thank you, Sarv.
Thank
You've
you.
made us better people. Let's get a photo.
4 more words on there.
Yeah, I can't pronounce those. Okay, so if any of y'all out there are Gen Xers, you will remember WWF Wrestling Night, Hulk Hogan, Mean Gene Okerlund. The next person I want to call down is Larry Schleifung. Come on down, please. While Larry is making his way down, I want to say that Larry is the person who has represented District 1, I believe, for 21 years. Come on down there. At the AAB Advisory Board, that's the Airport Advisory Board. He is an engineer, a pilot. He owns some really cool cars. He's a generally good guy, and he likes Mexican food at La Botana in Chambly off of Savoy Road, in case you're interested. So I think Larry is such an extraordinary individual that I got him a wrestling belt for how impressive he is. Again, I've known Larry, and I have to give full credit to my predecessor, Nancy Jester. She was the person, I believe, who had appointed you initially, is that correct?
Elaine Boyer.
Elaine Boyer, pardon me, I've never actually met Elaine before. But thank you for your service, thank you for your knowledge, for your expertise. I appreciate your updates when you send them to us. Just in case anyone forgot, there were just over 2,000 noise complaints at PDK last month, and about 1,000 of them came from one person.
That's right.
And then 3 people accounted for 1,600, I think it was.
5 people.
5 people, pardon me. But Larry provides a lot of information, a lot of understanding about the airport. Even as a city planner coming into this job, for all the things I knew nothing about airports except they were cool and my kids liked watching them take off at the park. But Larry has really given me an insight on sort of some of the politics and drama that happened back there, some of the realities that, we do want to have an airport that is growing, but we also want to acknowledge the small propeller operators that are there who are sort of the mainstay. The economy goes up or down, but you guys are always there, so thank you very much. I'm going to ask Miss Barbara to read the proclamation if she's ready, and then I'll have you have a few words.
Okay.
Whereas Larry Scheinflug has demonstrated a lifelong passion for aviation as a pilot, aircraft owner, and dedicated advocate for the safety, accessibility, and success of DeKalb Peachtree Airport. And whereas since his appointment to the PDK Airport Advisory Board in July 2005, he has provided more than 2 decades of volunteer service, serving under multiple District 1 commissioners and contributing his aviation knowledge and experience to DeKalb County. And whereas Mr. Scheinflug has served as chair and vice chair of the Airport Advisory Board, helping strengthen board participation, meeting effectiveness, public engagement, and informed guidance on matters affecting PDK Airport. And whereas through his service, Mr. Scheinflug has contributed to major airport initiatives, including the PDK Airport Master Plan, construction of T-hangars, development of airport rules and minimum standards, along with review of lease agreements and landing fee discussions. Whereas he has consistently fostered constructive dialogue among airport officials, pilots, airport users, and the surrounding community, helping promote greater understanding, transparency, and respect. Whereas his commitment to aviation, public service, and the future of PDK Airport has made a lasting contribution to DeKalb County, reflecting the highest ideals of civic engagement and community stewardship. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that on this 11th day of August, 2026, I, Commissioner Robert Patrick, along with the governing authority of DeKalb County, do hereby recognize him for his exceptional years of service to aviation and the PDK Airport community, and extend our sincere appreciation for his dedication, leadership, and commitment to DeKalb County.
Thank you. Thank you, Larry. Can I say a few words?
Well, thank you, Commissioner Patrick. I really enjoy working with you and all the previous county commissioners as well. It's been a real honor to serve on the PDK Airport Advisory Board, working with 4 other airport directors. As mentioned, aviation is my passion, even though my professional career, I was an engineer. But my main goal is to make PDK a safe place. And so far, we're doing a really great job over there. So I don't know what to say. I'm beyond words. I mean, this is quite a surprise. But I appreciate.
Raise it up. Well, we're going to get a photo with you raising it up.
Oh, okay, all right.
Hold on.
But I really do appreciate the recognition. This really came out of the blue. I just enjoy public service, started in the military, serving my nation, and it's carried over into my personal life, being after the military, still continuing my public service to the community. So thank you very much. I appreciate the honor, and quite a surprise. Thank you.
Yeah. Just one thing. Let's do the clap. Let's do the clap. Yeah. So Larry is very tenacious, and I had asked Hunter, the airport director, Hunter Hines, to do some research discreetly, get me a bio on you so that we could put something together. And he reached out, and then all of a sudden you're like, hey, why is Hunter calling me? Why is Hunter asking all these questions about me? What's going on? I was like, I don't know Hunter. You know, he's a good guy, but I don't keep up with him. You know, he's his own thin man. But that's what was going on in the background. And again, Larry, truly, you know, I'm grateful for your knowledge, grateful for your service. You don't pay attention to party labels. You pay attention to what matters, which is keeping people safe.
That's right.
Keeping DeKalb County running, and I am truly grateful as a commissioner. Even when I was a first-year commissioner, sort of learning everything at once, I truly am grateful. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. If we can move this out of the way, Zach. All right, then Larry, you do have to hold it a bit.
Sar, if you and your family come up, we'd love to pin you. And Miss Amaria, if you're still here, we'd love to pin you as well. Thank you, everybody. So now we'll go into comments from the public. Madam Clerk, if you will read in the instructions.
The purpose of public comment is to allow the public to voice county-related requests, concerns, or opinions during the commission meeting. Speakers will only have the opportunity for one public comment per meeting. Each speaker must please complete a speaker card and present it to the clerk before the beginning of the public comment portion of the meeting. Cards turned in to the clerk from the time the general meeting is convened, generally 9 a.m., and by the beginning of public comment portion, generally following presentations on the agenda. The clerk will accept cards on a first-come, first-served basis. Prior to the clerk's call for public comment, speakers who are residents of DeKalb County shall be allowed to speak before residents of other counties are allowed to speak. Once the public comment portion of the meeting begins, speaker cards will no longer be accepted. Speakers will be allowed to speak for 3 minutes each, and public comment shall not exceed 30 minutes in length. When the buzzer sounds to indicate that time has run out, the speaker will be expected to immediately cease speaking and to yield the podium. Those who submitted speaker cards but did not speak because of the time allotment will be allowed to speak first at the next regularly scheduled commission meeting without regard to residents. Speakers should always talk directly into the microphone and begin by stating their name, full address, and the name of any organization they represent. Abusive, profane, or derogatory language, holding up signs, clapping, yelling, standing or laying in the aisles to show support for or opposition to a speaker will not be permitted. But a show of hands or quietly standing in place will be permitted to show support for or opposition to a speaker's position.
Thank you, ma'am. Do we have any leftover from the last meeting?
Yes, we do. Quite a few. Stephen Benny.
Good morning, Mr. Benny.
Good morning, Commissioners. During the last OPS meeting, which was very scary in its efforts to put limitations on public comments and submitting bills to the county agenda, Ms. Davis Johnson, who isn't here today, whom I rarely agree with, and talking about the length of commission meetings, stated that it is not the process that is the problem. It is the people. I agree wholeheartedly and ask why you are spending the majority of your time on changing the process and very little time on the people part. Previous changes to the agenda have not helped to shorten meetings because commissioners are acting like schoolyard bullies and talking past and over one another like children, fighting over who gets to claim credit. It is embarrassing to witness. I do not understand why the millage rate of unincorporated DeKalb County was raised $0.5 but the millage rate of incorporated DeKalb County was not. Everyone in DeKalb County uses a majority of its services. However, a little research shows that at least 5 of the 7 commissioners live in incorporated DeKalb County, so they will not be paying the increased tax rate. Coincidence? Where is the fairness in that, Mr. Patrick? Mr. Patrick used the CPI increase of 39% since 2015 as a reason for why we needed to raise the millage rate. Was that one of your bad jokes again? The budget of DeKalb County has increased 73% over that same time period, nearly twice that of the CPI. Ms. Davis Johnson, I am the person who used the term sharecropper last month. If your relatives at one time were sharecroppers, and hopefully you have an understanding of the hard circumstances that they lived under. But you seem to fail to see how residents of South DeKalb are being abused through unincorporated millage rate raises, aggressive e-host taxes, and undisclosed data centers being built. You have a tendency to say that you know what is right for your constituents. Do you believe that this current unfair tax system is best for them? If you do, you have become a part of the problem and have stopped being a part of the solution. Ms. Messiah, last month you said that if Mr. Terry introduced a resolution to ban data centers, you would second it. If you are so eager to ban data centers, why don't you introduce the resolution yourself? The commission as a whole seemed to wash their hands like Pontius Pilate of this data center affair, giving influence to the CEO and her staff to suggest rules and regulations for data centers which will allow commissioners to absolve themselves of responsibility or blame when regulations are finally presented and approved. The Ellenwood and Entrenchment Creek Park proposed data centers are still grandfathered in under this new moratorium. Remember, the process has changed, but the final destination has not.
Thank you, Mr. Benny. Next speaker.
Cheryl Dudley.
Ms.
Praise
Dudley.
Henrico.
Ms. Dudley. Okay, I don't see Ms. Dudley.
Ms. Mangum.
Gina Mangum.
Gina Mangum.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Corruption is defined as dishonest or illegal behavior by people in power, and that includes breaking the rules. For nearly a year, DeKalb residents have come before this board, met with the administration, and educated residents at numerous community forums about the ill effects of large hyperscale AI data centers, only to be repeatedly disrespected by our commissioners and our CEO. What is so perplexing is why from the very beginning of this process, we've been treated like the enemy. It begs the question, what's in it for you? DeKalb citizens have provided a wealth of research, data, and other evidence to support our position. Bolton criticized our white paper before reading it. Commissioner Messiah refused to deny the Ellenwood Data Center without good reason on multiple occasions. And Presiding Officer Shakira Johnson treats public comment as if it's an annoyance. And then there's Commissioners Marita Davis Johnson and Robert Patrick, who always seem to be cooking up something on their own. After the CEO's planning department dropped a surprise substitute at the June 23rd public hearing, the BOC voted to defer the item. Then during the regular BOC meeting, hours after everyone had left, they reopened it and denied the text amendment altogether. We never said we didn't want a text amendment. We just didn't want that text amendment, especially since we hadn't even had a chance to review it. And then there's the backroom correspondence, apparently with Shadowbox, far away from the public eye. Apparently, Shadowbox is under the mistaken impression that they are entitled to build a hyperscale AI data center wherever and whenever it suits them, without any regard for the negative effects on our communities. They now claim that they were given assurances months before the formal community engagement process began. Meanwhile, we discovered that Commissioner Patrick had received a substantial campaign contribution from Shadowbox, and then he sat on the Decide DeKalb board that issued them bonds. Shadowbox CEO Officer Jeff Weber was so arrogant, he announced the project at the South Metro CID anniversary celebration. When asked about it, our CEO, Cochran Johnson, assured us that as far as she knew, the data center had not been approved. As for our elected officials, we can either cave into the alleged interests of Shadowbox, or you can vigorously defend this lawsuit to protect our interests. Any corrupt backroom settlements to appease developers is unacceptable, and you will be voted out.
Thank you, ma'am. Next speaker.
Malifa Bellaford.
Ms. Bellaford. I do not see them.
Soyina Koch.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. My name is Soyini Koch. I am the founder and board president of J2, the Fine Arts Enrichment Camp, and we were at 1415 Constitution Road in Atlanta. And I'm here for 3 reasons. One, I wanted to thank you all enthusiastically for your support of this program. In October the 25th of last year, you all voted to provide financial support to the program. And I'm pleased to let you know that that vote of confidence gave other funders the confidence to come in, and that became the anchor funding that made the camp possible this year. And so we're very, very grateful for that. And I wanted to let you know that the camp was successful. We had 65 beautiful students. We had a successful performance on July 17th. And your investment in the youth of DeKalb County was well made. We, as you all know, for those of you who are here, we had a few of our students come and talk about the experience at the program. And so I just wanted to reassure you that the investment that you made was well made. You can go online to Joy to Infinity and see pictures of the performance, and just let you know that the demand and the need for this program for arts education is very, very real. And with your support, we can continue to serve more students. And so I thank you. I hope you all have a great rest of your day.
Madison Donaldson.
Madison. Okay, I do not see them.
Riley Glover.
Riley Glover.
Jan Dunaway.
Ms. Dunaway, good morning.
Take this off. Jan Dunaway, District 4, and a DeKalb County Soil and Water Conservation District Supervisor, a voluntary position, but I'm a state official. I hope that you will hear my words, and I hope that the citizens are listening. The citizens have spoken. We want a fully funded, comprehensive, independent health and environmental study to protect the citizens of DeKalb before approaching another data center text amendment. We do not know if DeKalb County has the capacity to supply the water needed for data centers. We do not know if we have the sewer capacity for the discharge of the chemically treated recycled water. We don't even know what they will put in it and where it will go. The DeKalb County Industrial Pretreatment Permit does not remove the common chemicals used for cooling, and we don't know if the data centers will disclose what chemicals they will be using. DeKalb County is under a federal consent order related to years of old sanitary sewer overflows into our soils, our streams, and the South River. In the last 15 years, DeKalb has made very few needed improvements while spending millions of tax dollars in fines and penalties. How can we move forward with data centers with no completion date? Moving forward without understanding the impacts to our community and our citizens is reckless. Land disturbance permits are not transferable from one use to another. Developers are required to comply with an approved set of plans, and should they change the use, this requires the site to meet the approved plans before they can even be closed out, including the state NOI. Only after this has occurred can they submit new plans that have been carefully reviewed and approved. If a site is 50 acres or more, then they need a new 50-acre letter from the EPD. This is not like turning a switch. The DeKalb Soil and Water District monitors these actions to assure that the county is enforcing these rules. The citizens of DeKalb expect the elected officials to vigorously fight lawsuits to protect us. If you choose to prioritize the desires of the developers, like Shadowbox, over the needs of residents, then you do not represent us, and you don't deserve to represent us. In the words of the former coach, Bear Bryant, in a crisis, don't hide behind anything or anybody. They're going to find you anyway.
Thank you, ma'am. Next speaker.
Natalie Kaiser.
Natalie Kaiser, are you here? All right, I don't see them.
Austin Carl.
Austin, good morning.
For going on a year, DeKalb residents have made it clear that we reject the political and economic project of AI data centers, which require extensive natural and computational resources and provide little in return beyond fictitious economic growth. If it were not for us, the residents of DeKalb, educating you all on the daily growing list of harms, you would have pushed through performative regulations to facilitate, rather than protect against, data center development in the name of growing DeKalb's tax base, which you squander on surveillance. It was because of the insufficiency of the prior text amendment that we opposed its approval, as draft after draft after draft repeatedly failed to incorporate our recommendations. We engaged with the drafting process for roughly 9 months, and yet you'd have to circle the differences in bold, bright red marker for anyone to know the difference between the first draft and the last draft. But our stance was never to outright deny the text amendment. It was to continue revising the text amendment until an independent third-party health and environmental impact study had been conducted so that all of our concerns could be meaningfully addressed. This is not even to mention that we were not afforded the opportunity to review the version that the board actually denied, which was purportedly emailed to you all the night before. Thus, we could only speak to the then out-of-date version made accessible to us, which you initially deferred responsive to our comments. Yet after the public left, the text amendment was outright denied under a motion to reconsider. This took place without even the possibility for a public hearing, because the public was under the impression that the next hearing would not be until today. You all then tried to save face by claiming publicly that you had given us what we wanted, which is a gross misrepresentation. Now the county is facing a $30 million lawsuit claiming that your denial of the text amendment is proof that the data center moratorium has never had any standing, among other reasons. But the text amendment was under revision for the entire duration of the first moratorium up until its denial on June 23rd. Then on July 14th, the board introduced a new moratorium to afford us time to, quote, further research and or commission studies relating to the adverse impacts of data centers on the public welfare, including their broad environmental impacts, and to effectuate comprehensive regulations that fully protect the county's citizenry, unquote. That is, the preconditions for lifting the moratorium, the second moratorium, have yet to be fulfilled. That, in short, Shadowbox's suit is frivolous and only serves to distract from what has been and remains our demand. That the county fully fund an independent third-party health and environmental impact study so that we can proceed with full knowledge of the potential harms data centers pose to our communities. There's no excuse for settling.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Ann Mellinger Birdsong.
Ann, are you here today? Don't see anybody. Go ahead, ma'am.
Hannah Davis.
Hannah Davis. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. I would also like to push for an environmental study of the data centers to be pushed through as soon as possible, but today mostly I want to talk about flock and the dangers that they pose to our community and why we should deflock DeKalb. For the past 2 weeks, I've been parsing through flock data from DeKalb County obtained legally through FOIA requests. The flock network represents serious risk to the safety and security of the citizens of DeKalb County. I commend the DeKalb Police Department for suspending 8 officers for flock camera misuse, but it is not enough. The flock network allows users to follow people across state lines for private and public reasons. Better training or resources will not help this. There are independent news organizations across the country that have investigated and linked police misconduct to the use of the flock network, including here in the Atlanta metro area. Does flock help to reduce crime? No. Since the institution of mass surveillance technologies like flock, the FBI Crime Data Center shows there has been no significant reduction in crimes or increase in solve rates for these crimes across Georgia, not even in motor vehicle crimes where we would expect to see that increase. Let's dive into DeKalb County specifically. Over 17 million searches were completed on the DeKalb County flock network in the past 18 months. Top agencies outside of Georgia were the Houston, Texas Police Department with 8,000 searches, 250,000 of those categorized as other, with no discernible keywords in the search reason. The Dallas, Texas Police Department with 500,000 searches, again, a large majority of them categorized as other. The California Highway Patrol with 70,000 searches categorized as other. Palm Beach County, Florida Sheriff's Office with 69,000 searches categorized as other. The NYS Crime Analysis Center Network with 52,000 searches categorized as other. This is not to mention the reasons that we do not have from police officers who have searched DeKalb County. Adam Harlow completed 5,568 searches with a reason, the letter C. Ruben Hurtarte completed 4,986 with locate as the reason. Flock intentionally tells people to obscure their search results, and this isn't going to change. No matter how much training that we do, we have to deflock DeKalb. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jordan Moses.
Jordan, good morning.
Hi, good morning. I'm Jordan, District 3. I am also here to speak on the environmental impact study. I think that, as we all know at this point, these data centers pose a danger to our communities and the values of our homes, but it would be nice if you guys could actually do the research yourselves through an independent impact study. Ted Terry has put in a lot of effort to try and give us a voice down here at the bottom. And so we would like if you would hear us and carry out the wishes that we've already said. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Jonathan Hole.
Jonathan,
Holy.
do not see him.
Okay. Bentley Hudgens.
Bentley. And we're still going through from the last meeting, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah.
Regina Roberts.
Regina Roberts. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Regina Roberts, and I live in unincorporated DeKalb County in the Boulder Crest, Morgan area. I'm not here today simply to talk about the data centers. I'm here to talk about the people. I am asking you, as our elected officials, to look beyond the dollar amount that a data center may bring and ask a more important question. What is our responsibility to the people who already live here? Economic development is important. Jobs are important. But there's something even more important than money. Human life, human dignity, the health and quality of life of the people you were elected to represent. A community is not simply acreage on a map waiting for the highest bidder. It's a community, and it's someone's home. It is where children sleep at night. It is when families and how they raise their children. It is where elderly people have spent decades building their lives. It is where churches, schools, neighborhoods, trees, streams, and wildlife exist all together. And when government makes a decision that permanently changes that community, I believe government has a moral responsibility to ask who benefits and who bears the burden. That is the question that I'm asking you today. I understand that data centers represent technology, investment, economic opportunity, and I'm not against these things. Technology, it represents progress, but progress should not mean that some people receive the benefits while another community absorbs the costs. If a developer requires enormous amounts of electricity, enormous infrastructure, water resources, industrial equipment, generators, cooling systems, and continuous operation, then we have to ask whether a residential community is the appropriate place for it. And I want you to think about something very simple. Is this proposed facility, if it was going next to your own home, your child's school, your church, your family's neighborhood, would you look at the decision the same way? That is an important question. So this is not an economic question, it is a human question. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
PJ Lemuel.
Say that again. Oh, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Good morning, Commissioners. My name is P.J. Lemuel, and I'm a resident of South DeKalb and have been a homeowner for 20 years. I come before you this morning to let you know that I am not in favor of data centers in South DeKalb. Since the last time I came before this board, I have continued to research the advantages and disadvantages of data centers to the communities where they have been built. Unfortunately, I have not yet come across any positive feedback for these centers. Last week, I came across an article that data centers will reside on the campus of Fisk University. This one move will effectively destroy not only Fisk, but Meharry Medical College and others in close proximity. Why is it that our skin people are paving the way for the destruction of our communities only to give oligarchs more money? Why? For the promises of renovating dorms, building recreation centers, or a park? We cannot live without water. One of the candidates in our governor's race owns data centers in Texas. How can you justify making sure that homeowners in our communities, yours and mine, will never realize the redeemable equity and value of our real estate? For the most of us, that is our only asset. Let's speak about regulations. I'm not convinced that regulations will be enforced in DeKalb County. I call to mind one department in particular, code enforcement. Getting them to enforce regulations already on the book is like pulling hen's teeth. Citizen after citizen has come before you to sincerely ask that you deny data centers in DeKalb. And your pushback is that there is a safe way to control water usage with closed systems. Closed systems circulate water, 'tis true, but after 5 cycles, all the water that has not been evaporated will be released back into our system or in the ground. This wastewater is toxic. Lastly, Commissioners, when you see the bad man coming, it's too late to call the sheriff when the bad man is at the door. I ask respectfully, do not approve these permits. Thank you.
Thank you.
Stacy Shorts.
Stacy. Okay, I do not see Stacy.
Devin Lancaster.
Devin. Do not see Devin.
Emily Whaley.
Emily. Go ahead.
Jackie Malcolm.
Jackie Malcolm. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Grand Rising Commissioners, I'm Jackie Malcolm. I live in District 3 off of Bodacrest. I would like to mention we need transparency from all of you. If you explain something to someone and they are not in an agreement of understanding, you didn't do your job. We just still right back to square number one. So if you communicate with the public, your citizens, your constituents, please make sure it's eye to eye, that they understand where you're coming from. We're going this way, but you're going that way. And we need the foolishness to stop. I saw the news on the other day and found out that, Shadowbox Studios is trying to do a lawsuit. Why? Doesn't matter right now. But I would say that the community, we will stand with the county if they'd like to do this lawsuit. Why? I believe, and I'm not quite sure, that Shadowbox probably has not followed certain particular things that other people have to do when they try to have businesses in the area. And I'll leave it at that. And I hope you all took time out of your break to come up with a definition for a data campus data center. And we hope that y'all have already been working on a text amendment that will work for the people. Because as far as the last text amendment, it is not safe, the citizen, for us in our community. It has no safeguards, no safe rails for the people, and no protection for us. It seems like that text amendment was written for Shadowbox. And I think that would be what, Jeff Rebler? Is that right? Okay, yeah, him. But that's another story. By having a current text amendment, we're left unprotected, okay? As commissioners, you are all supposed to make sure that we are protected. And without a text amendment, we're not. Let's talk about Cedar Grove community. In our area, we're dealing with small to mid-size industrial companies that emits dust, smoke, particles in the air, and with other things like landfills and a 40-acre satellite company, along with several other things like we have these little small airplanes that fly over our heads that emits toxic chemtrails, smoke in the atmosphere. We got Hartsfield Jackson Airport having airplanes flying all around, and we do believe it's emitting, I guess, jet fuel, because some of our neighbors have smut on their driveway, so they have to sandblast that down. This is one of the main reasons why we need a health environmental impact study approved.
Thank you, ma'am.
Our last person is Maya Godfrey.
Maya Godfrey? I do not see them, ma'am.
Elkie Davidson.
Elkie Davidson? Not seeing them.
Lexi White.
Lexi White. Go ahead.
Steve Parker.
Steve Parker.
And Ralph Branch.
Ralph Branch. All
That
right.
completes our last.
That's just the last one, okay.
So
we have one more?
Well, we can do one from this week.
So commissioners, we could get in one from this week. If someone wants to make a motion to extend.
So moved. Second.
For how long?
5 minutes.
Would you
That's
consider
2
10?
speakers. That gives us how many, excuse me, how many speakers? Enough for 2 speakers? So sufficient for 2 speakers.
An additional 2 speakers? So a total
That
of
is
3?
correct. And so incorrect at exactly what time that is, but just wanting to make sure we have the opportunity for at least 2 more speakers to be able to speak.
So just to clarify before we go with a vote, we said we had time for 1, and then you're saying 2 more, so we would have 3 speakers from today.
That is correct.
Okay. And that is seconded. Do we need to hit our buttons, which are not up yet? Okay. So that was seconded by Commissioner Davis Johnson? Or- Okay. All in favor, show of hands. All right. Let's do at least 3 more. Thank you.
Pat Culp.
Good morning, ma'am.
You are so generous.
Good morning. My name is Pat Culp, and I reside at 3577 Boulder Crest Road, and I'm a resident and a president of the Cedar Grove Neighborhood Association. I do agree with the study. We do not want data centers in our community, but I came here for another reason. On last night, Channel 2 did a report on something that was very concerning to our members, that the planning department and Planning Sustainability Department has been in talks with Shadowbox as far as for 3 years in terms of a data center on their property. Now, we didn't know anything about this. Until Commissioner Messiah was on that interview and mentioned that to us. Of course, I got some calls about it. Now, I want to know, for 3 years, you were not in that seat, but I want to know from Commissioner Terra, did you know anything about what has gone on outside of what is happening now? We deserve accountability. This is our community. Shadowbox has not come before us. I'm the president. They act like they're not our neighbors, but they can come and make a deal with planning sustainability is what I'm looking at. Now, maybe with some backdoor deals, I don't know. You were accused of that at one time. But I'm saying to you, as the president we should deserve accountability. And I just feel like you need to make sure that we know what's going on in our community. Mr. Terry, if you know, let us know, okay? I want to know what happened in 3 years that we didn't have a voice in what was going on over there. I've met with Jeff time to time, and he has not indicated anything to me that he was talking to Plan and Sustainability about a data center over there. We've got enough going on in our neighborhood. Why should we endure what Jeff is want to put and Shellbox want to put in our neighborhood? It's not right. Commissioners, we have a voice, and that voice is a strong voice, and we're going to fight. We're going to fight to keep these things out of our neighborhood. We're going to fight Shadowbox. Whatever it takes, we're going to fight. I'm not the Metro CID. I don't have a whole lot of money, but I got a voice, and I got people behind me, and we're going to fight to know that this should be accountable to us, and it has not been. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, ma'am.
Brenda Pace.
Ms. Pace? Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to direct this to Commissioner Nicole Messiah, please. She is still District 3's commissioner. I'm going to recognize that until there's a November election and there's a change, okay? Ms. Messiah, I am asking for a meeting with you, a private one-on-one meeting. I will have some other people in that meeting. I will tell you who they are. There are some issues and some things I'm not going to take the time to hit everybody with that I think you are capable of handling, and let's get them cleaned up, okay? I would like for that meeting to take place ASAP because of the time frame, okay? You have an opportunity to do something since everybody says you didn't do anything. So let's put something on the table for them to talk about differently, okay? There's no sense in wasting time. The other thing I want to mention is these ladies, this group, I support you 300% and then some. You have more than a voice. You have a vote. One of the things I'm going to put together, I'm going to be in touch with you about, okay? If you want something, I will help you pay for it, okay? That's number 2. And yes, I can afford it. Thank you, okay? So, secondly, I want to talk about DeKalb County's government. It's a piece of crap. Has been for 30 years. It's not new, but it is the voters' fault. It is the voters' fault. You like people, so you crawl up, okay? Quit crawling up, okay? Let's get some people in here that knows what they're doing. We need to clean out this BOC. You want to get rid of Nicole Messiah? Let's get rid of everybody, because, Sonny, she has not been alone in getting anything done in South DeKalb. The black area of South DeKalb has suffered forever. Money, where is Alan Mitchell? Are you here, Alan Mitchell? Money that came in through DeKalb County from HUD and the federal government has always been directed north. I know, I've proven it. Richard Belcher and I have been best friends over the years. I have proven everything they have done corrupt. Right now, we have a new police chief, and we have a new, what do you call him, major over at South. They're not having anything in the community in South DeKalb like they should have to address the problems in South DeKalb. We're going to be taking up the Klondike. We got seniors and people who don't have cars, can't go up there, don't use computers. I'm going to suggest, Ms. Messiah, that you get with the CEO if you have to. If you don't, then do it yourself, and you make sure that they have something over here to introduce this so-called, because South DeKalb precinct has been a mess, and that is why crime has come up. We had a corrupt, very corrupt major in there that I proved, okay, was corrupt. Still have the documents. If any of you want a copy of that file from AI, I'd be happy to send it. He was shaking down businesses like crazy, including your CID, by the way. $5,000. I still have copies of those checks.
Thank
okay?
you, ma'am.
And that police department has been in a mess. I'll
Thank
get
you.
with you. Thank you very much.
Deborah Saunders.
Miss Deborah? Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Thank you for letting me speak. I don't think I'll be back because I believe it's a waste of time. When I was here last month to talk about safety for seniors that are being hit and killed in the road because of violations, I have since apply to the Open Records Act. And I want to let you know that you will be formally sent a default. These particular agencies, which starts with the CEO, they've had 30 days to answer an Open Records Act. Your state law says 3 days. So they will be receiving a formal default, and every senior citizen should stand behind it. They're not the only ones. DeKalb County Police. We've been trying to get police records for people left dead in the middle of the road. Department of Public Works, default. Office of Aging, Director Damon Scott, default. Georgia Department of Transportation, default. CEO Lorraine Johnson, default. DeKalb County Public Works, default. This is the service you're getting. You're supposed to be administering. We don't expect you to do everything. But if you're not administering, it's your fault. Amen. Now, we will be sending formal defaults and a notice that you're going to have to settle with some of these people who have been injured, or we're going to file a lawsuit. You'll be sending, I'm giving you a pre-notice, but your attorney and risk management will be receiving that. The only department, and I have to give them credit, was the Georgia Department of Transportation. They asked for more time, and we gave them more time. We gave them 30 days instead of 15. They have given us information that just on Candler Road, there's been over 2,600 accidents, that they consider Candler Road one of the, let me just quote what it says here. What's wrong with that? They've identified the Candler Road as one of the highest crash roads in Metro Atlanta. Don't you care about the senior citizens that are dying in this particular road? You okayed for Publix to come in and bring more traffic, but these people can't, they're in wheelchairs, they can't get across. You got a school there, no school zones. I sent that to you already. So we just have to take the next steps.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir, yes.
All right, thank you so much. We do have some public hearing items, so Madam Clerk, if you'll read in the public hearing instructions.
Citizens may speak for or against an item that is considered by law to be a zoning ordinance, and each side will have 10 minutes to present its case. Citizens may also speak for or against an item that is placed on the public hearing agenda, but is not a zoning ordinance. In that case, each side will have 5 minutes to present its case. In the event there is more than one speaker per side, speakers must divide their time in order to complete their full presentation within the 10-minute time allotment or the 5-minute time allotment. When the buzzer sounds to indicate that time has run out, the speaker will be expected to immediately cease speaking and to leave the podium area. Prior to speaking, a speaker should complete a speaker card and present it when approaching the podium. If a speaker has any documents for the commissioners, the speaker shall provide 10 copies when approaching the podium. 7 copies are for the commissioners, and the remaining copies are for the planning director, the county attorney, and the clerk. In all zoning ordinance and traffic calming cases, staff shall make their recommendation for action to the commission first, followed by applicants or citizens speaking in favor of the item. Applicants in zoning ordinance cases shall have the right to reserve time for rebuttal. Opponents of the applicants or citizens speaking in favor of an item shall speak first, followed by opponents of the item. Once the citizens have finished speaking, staff shall make a recommendation for action to the commission. At this point, citizens are no longer allowed to speak unless called to the podium by an individual commissioner to answer questions or provide information. Speakers should always talk directly into the microphone and begin by stating their name, address, and the name of any organization they represent. Abusive, profane, or derogatory language will not be permitted. Holding up signs, clapping, yelling, standing, or laying in the aisles to show support for or opposition to a speaker will not be permitted. But a show of hands or quietly standing in place will be permitted to show support for or opposition to a speaker's position?
Thank you, ma'am. Our first item is under finance. That is item 2026-0941. We are on top of page 3. Home Rule Ordinance to amend the pension code of DeKalb County, Georgia, 1962, Georgia Laws 3088, as amended to add a death benefit for beneficiaries of certain plan participants who die in the line of duty as officers, employees, or deputies of DeKalb County on or after October 1st, 2026, to confirm that no participant can add, replace, or remove a designated joint annuitant after payment of pension benefits begins, and to provide for compliance with certain updates to federal tax law. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Madam Presiding Officer. Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
And this is the first reading of the Home Rule Amendment, and we would be coming back on August 25th for second reading and final adoption. And as stated in the ordinance, this is the benefit that will give an employee, regardless of your department, so it's not just limited to public safety, a pension benefit that is the maximum benefit for the plan in which they're enrolled, and they do not have to meet the typical age or vesting requirements. And then there's some other housekeeping items. As we mentioned, we've long practiced and followed the rules for naming a beneficiary, and this just makes it more plain that once you retire, you cannot add or change a joint beneficiary. It's long been our practice, but this housekeeping addition to the ordinance just makes it a little bit more plain, a little bit more clear.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So this is a public hearing item, so I will open up to the public. Is there anyone here to speak in favor of this item? Anyone here to speak in favor of this item? Seeing no one, is there anyone here to speak in opposition? Good morning.
Stephen Benny, 1083 Seville Drive, Clarkston, Georgia. Did I understand that basically this says that if a person retires and names a beneficiary, if their beneficiary dies before them, or if they divorce and get married to someone else, that the benefit will not go to that person? The officer or whoever, or the employee who worked for that benefit should get the opportunity to give that benefit to whoever they want who is in their family, whether they get remarried or the spouse dies and they want to give it to their children instead. I think this needs to be looked over a little bit more, if I understood correctly. If I didn't, then I apologize. Take care.
Thank you, Mr. Benny. Anyone else in opposition of this item? Final call. Anyone else in opposition? Okay, seeing no one. If you come forward and give staff recommendation one more time, and if we could get clarity on that one question, that would be great.
Yes, staff does recommend approval, and if I understood, I'm going to let Laura Johnson answer that. She's better than me.
Good morning, ma'am.
Hi, Commissioners. As Mr. Jacobs mentioned, it is necessary to adopt a home rule ordinance twice at 2 consecutive regular meetings. And so the motion I would suggest would be to adopt the June 15th, 2026 version of the home rule ordinance on first reading and defer it to the August 25th, 2026 meeting for a second reading.
All right, thank you so much. Is there a motion?
I move to approve the first adoption, which was indicated from the June 15th meeting of the Home Rule Amendment, and to defer for a second reading on the August 25th meeting for public hearing.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
All right, if you'll hit your button, ma'am. And Commissioner Bolton has requested to speak. You have the floor.
And I just want to make sure we did address the question. Can you start by first stating the ultimate purpose for the home rule ordinance, which has to do with the death benefit, and then respond, please, to the question that was brought forth?
Yes, that is correct. To answer the first part of your question, the primary ask today is to approve the line of duty death benefit. And with your permission, Commissioner, if we could come back in writing to Erbs to Mr. Benny's question, we want to make sure that it's very clear. And with your permission, we'd love to come back and bring that in writing at perhaps a future Erbs committee.
That's fine. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Bolton. Seeing no one else requesting to speak, please open the machine for the vote. Motion to defer carries. Our second item is under Planning and Sustainability. Item 2026-0885.
Pardon me, Commissioner, was that the motion to adopt on first reading and defer?
Yes.
It was approved, okay.
Yes.
I just wanted to clarify, thank you.
No problem, thank you. Item 2026-0885, application of the Director of Planning and Sustainability for the DeKalb County Board of Commissioners to hold a public hearing to amend Chapter 15, Article 12 of the Code of DeKalb County, Georgia. Good morning, Ms. Bragg.
We would also ask that you hear 2026-0886 at the same time, please.
Yes, ma'am. Item 2026-0886, all commission districts, application of Director of Planning and Sustainability to amend applicable sections in Chapter 27 of the zoning ordinance of DeKalb County to reflect the updates of Chapter 15, Article 12, adult entertainment establishments.
Thank you. Good morning, Commissioners. It's so nice to see you all. So these are two companion items which propose to update DeKalb County's regulations for adult establishments. In October of 2025, planning became aware of a number of deficiencies and inconsistencies in our existing regulations, both in the zoning code and in the business license requirements. Since that time, planning has worked with the law department, business license, zoning, and outside legal counsel with specific expertise to conduct a comprehensive review of the county's existing regulations. Excuse me. The goal of these amendments before you today is to clean up and modernize our existing regulations, update our definitions and uses, and make sure the business license and zoning provisions are coherent and consistent with one another. We are not proposing any substantive changes to the existing supplemental regulations through these items. This is primarily a cleanup and coordination effort to make sure that we're using current terminology and applying it consistently throughout the different sections of the county code. There is also an important legal foundation for this work. Local governments may regulate adult establishments to address documented secondary effects associated with these uses. Our outside counsel reviewed the body of studies, reports, judicial decisions, and other evidence supporting this regulatory framework, and those materials are in the record. I'll briefly walk through these two items. If a more detailed discussion is desired, I would request a short deferral and the opportunity to present in an upcoming PEX meeting. The first item, which is 2026-0885, updates the county's business licensing requirements, which is in Chapter 15 of the code. So it replaces the existing terminology adult entertainment establishments with adult establishments. This updates that article within the chapter and establishes consistent definitions for the types of businesses covered by the ordinance. This is the primary change in both regulations, is that change of definition and the change of language from adult entertainment establishments to adult establishments. The legislation also clarifies the licensing requirements for adult establishments and their employees, along with clarifying application issuance, suspension, revocation, and appeal procedures. The amendment includes operational standards, which addresses issues such as interior lighting and visibility, exterior monitoring, loitering, and conduct within establishments. It maintains the county's existing 1,000-foot separation requirement from residential zoning, schools, churches, parks, libraries, and other adult establishments and establishments serving alcohol. The one new thing that it does do is it also establishes a 150-foot separation between locations who are selling sexual devices and residentially zoned property. So for the first time, there is a 150-foot separation between that use and residentially zoned districts, while it does also provide for existing compliant businesses. Finally, this initial item updates the alcohol provisions so that the terminology and standards are consistent. The second item, 2026-0886, is the companion item, which proposes to update Chapter 27, our amazing zoning code. So this amendment carries the same terminology from the business license to the zoning code and makes the same corresponding changes so that, again, the definitions, use tables, supplemental regulations, and references work together across the code. Again, it updates definitions and languages regarding adult entertainment establishments to adult establishments, and also updates that language wherever it's found in the code from the overlays, alcohol outlets, and package stores. So in conclusion, taken together, the two amendments are intended to create one clear and consistent regulatory framework with the business license section addressing licensing and operations, and the zoning code addressing land use and location. I again want to emphasize that these amendments are not intended to resolve any broader policy questions related generally to adult establishments. As part of the county's code update, we will have the opportunity to take a more comprehensive look at the use itself, the supplemental regulations that apply to it, and the zoning districts and locations where that use should be permitted. For these items today, the focus is much narrower, just to bring our existing regulations up to date, make them internally consistent, and ensure that the zoning and business license provisions work together. So the staff does recommend approval of both items. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Bragg. This is public hearing, so is anyone here to speak in favor of these items? Is there anyone here to speak in favor of these items? All right, is there anyone here to speak in opposition of these items? One more call. Anyone here to speak in opposition? All righty, Ms. Bragg.
The staff recommendation for both items is for approval. I would ask that you vote on them separately.
Separately, all right. So for the first item, item 2026-0885, is there a motion? This typically would have been PEX.
I'll make a motion to approve agenda item 2026-0885.
Second.
Hit your buttons. I see no requests to speak. Please open the machine for the vote. Motion to approve carries. For item 2026-0886, is there a motion?
Motion to approve agenda item 2026-0886.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. No requests to speak. Please open the machine for the vote. Like I'm missing somebody. Thank you. The motion to approve carries.
I think so, yeah.
We're now on the top of page 4. Item 2026-1184, application of the Director of Planning and Sustainability for DeKalb County Board of Commissioners to hold a public hearing to consider and review whether to extend a moratorium on adult entertainment establishments' sexual devices. Ms. Bragg.
Yes, so given the previous two votes, the staff recommendation on this item will actually be for withdrawal. Those items will go into immediate effect and the current moratorium will expire on September 3rd. So the staff recommendation is for withdrawal.
All right, thank you, ma'am. It is still listed for public hearing, so is there anyone here in favor of this item? Anyone in favor? Seeing no one, is anyone in opposition of this item? Mr. Benny.
Yes, I am assuming that the previous two pieces of legislation will not allow the sex shop in Druid Hills to be go into business. And just on principle, I sort of object to something being written into the ordinance just to please a certain neighborhood. Where was all this concern when these sex shops were setting up in South DeKalb, or in Central DeKalb, or in Clarkston, or in Stone Mountain? But no, when the rich people decide they don't want a sex shop, all of a sudden a new ordinance is written. Disgusting. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Benny. Anyone else in opposition? All right, seeing no one, Ms. Bragg, one more time.
Staff recommendation is for withdrawal. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there a motion?
Motion to withdraw.
Second.
Thank you so much. Seeing no one requesting to speak, please open the machine for the vote. Motion to withdraw carries. We have one more item under Public Works and Transportation. Item 2026-1147, Commission Districts 5, Super District 7, Streetlight Special Tax District, Rogers Lake Road, Lithonia Industrial Boulevard. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Commissioners. This agenda item is to establish a special tax district for streetlights on Rogers Lake Road. That's required by the Zoning and Land Development Code, and staff recommendation is for approval.
Thank you so much. It is public hearing. Is there anyone here to speak in favor of this item? One more call. Anyone here to speak in favor of this item? All right. Is anyone here to speak in opposition? Anyone to speak in opposition? Seeing no one, sir, if you will give staff recommendation one more time.
Staff recommendation is for approval.
Thank you so much. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion to approve, seconded by Commissioner Bolton. No request to speak. Please open the machine for that vote. Motion to approve carries. So we do have one appeal before us under Planning and Sustainability, item 2026-1185, Commission Districts 2 and Super District 6, appeal of a decision by the Historic Preservation Commission concerning property located at 1080 Clifton Road. Good morning, Ms. Bragg.
The staff recommendation on this item is for a deferral to September 15th to ensure the record is complete and to provide sufficient time for the board to review any updated documents.
All right, thank you so much. Is there a motion?
I move to defer this item to the September 15th meeting.
Second.
Motion and second. I see no request to speak. Please open the machine for the vote. Motion to defer carries. All right. Thank you so much. We're now in the middle of page 4 under appointments, and we were handed some substitutes. Make sure I'm sorry, give me 1 second. Okay. So we're at item 2026-1196. All commission districts appoint Boniface G. Eccles Esquire to post 4 of the Metropolitan Atlanta Rapid Transit Authority Board of Directors. I think this would typically go to PEC or PWI. Marty, is it PWI?
Marty, excuse me, yes, PWI.
So can I get a motion?
Motion to defer to the August 25th BOC with a prior stop at PWI.
If you hit your buttons, please. Thank you so much. Please open that machine for the vote. Motion to defer carries. Now we are on the substitutes. Okay, thank you. Item 2026-1150, this is under Fire and Rescue Services. Appoint interim Deputy Fire Chief Winterford O. Smith II to the DeKalb Post 4 of the Region 3 Emergency Medical Services Advisory Council.
I move to defer the substitute. Was that what you read, the substitute?
I read the substitute, yes.
Okay.
Until when?
2 weeks, the August,
25th.
I'm sorry, September 15th meeting.
All right, thank you so much. Seconded by Commissioner Long Spears. Please open the machine for the vote. Motion to defer carries. Our next one. Item 2026-1151, there is a substitute to reappoint Dr. Michael Carr to DeKalb Post 3 of the Region 3 Emergency Medical Services Advisory Council.
I move to defer the substitute to the September 15th meeting.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you, ma'am. Please open the machine for the vote. Motion to defer the substitute carries. We are now on item 2026-1152. Appointment of Samuel Charter to DeKalb Post 2 of the Region 3 Emergency Medical Services Advisory Council.
I move to defer the substitute to the September 15th meeting.
Second.
With a motion and a second, please open the machine for the vote. Motion to defer the substitute carries. We are now on the top of page 5, under consent agenda. Madam Deputy Presiding Officer, are you ready to go?
Ready to go.
All right, thank you so much. Under District 2, item 2026-1193, allocation of $25,000 from District 2 Reserve for appropriation to DeKalb Schools Foundation to support educational field trips.
Move for action.
2026-1199, allocation of $25,000 of District 2 ARP interest funds to Women's Resource Center to support Nia's Place.
Move for action.
Under the CEO, item 2026-0703, approval of the minutes of the Board of Commissioners meeting of July 14th, 2026.
Move for action.
Under Police Services, item 2026-1200, acceptance of state forfeiture property police services.
Move for action.
2026-1201, grant acceptance, grant year 2024, Urban Area Security Initiative, program grant not to exceed $132,750.
Move for action.
2026-1210, grant acceptance, FY26 High Intensity Drug Trafficking Area Grant, $276,156.
Move for action.
2026-1212, all commission districts, donation acceptance of the Quick Trip Corporation, not to exceed $300,000.
Move for action.
And item 2026-1213, all commission districts, K-9 retirement, the official retirement of K-9 Fire to his handler.
Oh, move for action.
I know, we got one more. Item 2026-1217, K-9 retirement, the official retirement of K-9 Fury to his handler.
Move for action.
Under Public Safety, item 2026-1202, all commission districts, grant acceptance, grant year 2024, Urban Area Security Initiative, grant in amounts not to exceed $435,827.59.
Move for action.
And that is the end of the consent items, ma'am.
At this time, I move to approve items 2026-1193, 1199, 0703, 1200, 1201, 1210, 1212, 1213, 1217, and 1202.
Silent officer, could we pull 1212?
For discussion on that
Yeah,
one?
for discussion.
Yes. So I think.
Quick Trip.
Right. I think we would, do we need to reread all of them, Attorney Phillips? If we're just pulling one of the consent items?
You can only read the one that's pulled. You don't
Okay, so
have
I
to
don't
reread
need-
them all.
Okay, thank you. So if the motion is to approve all the consent items minus 1212, motion was made by Commissioner Bolton to approve, seconded by Commissioner Long Spears?
Yes, ma'am.
That's correct. All right, if we will open machine for the vote. All right, the motion to approve those items carries. I will go back and read item 2026-1212, all commission districts, donation acceptance from Quick Trip Corporation not to exceed $300,000, and this is under police services. Is there anyone here to speak to this item? I see Chief making his way forward as well. You don't have to run. Yes, go ahead.
For purpose of discussion, I'm going to go ahead and make the motion to approve, but for the purposes of discussion.
Thank you. If I can get a second for discussion, thank you. Chief, go ahead and explain.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, commissioners. This is a quick trip donation. It is for the police department and our recruitment efforts. They have agreed to donate this money in order to advance our recruitment efforts up to $300,000.
All right, thank you so much. Commissioner Davis Johnson, you have requested to speak. You have the floor.
Yeah, that was my question. What was the donation for?
Yes, ma'am. It is for the recruitment to hire and retain.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. Commissioner Bolton.
With the donation, is there an agreement that we would provide additional services? What's
No,
the
ma'am.
reciprocity?
No, ma'am.
Okay. This is something that was open to any jurisdiction to apply for, and we received it?
They reached out to us to offer the grant services. There was no agreement on the part of the police department to do anything for Quick Trip. It's just a community partner, as we do from time to time, get business grants from Walmart, from Kroger, but Quick Trip has agreed to offer this grant for us. We have to provide the reporting documents, and I believe the grant is good through July 1st, 2027.
Okay. I yield back.
Thank you. See no other requests to speak. We have lost our second on this item. Is there?
Oh, no,
Oh,
I'm
you hit your
sorry.
button.
I meant to withdraw my name to speak.
All right, thank you. Thank you. We have had a break, so remembering our buttons. Please open the machine for the vote. Motion to approve this item carries. Thank you, sir. We are now at the top of page 6 under preliminary items. Item 2026. Thank you. This is a substitute for this item. Item 2026-1218, an ordinance to amend the code of DeKalb County, Georgia, Chapter 15, licenses, permits, and miscellaneous regulations, Article 15, non-discrimination. This was presented by District 2.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Motion to defer this item for 30 days and with the ERPS chair's permission to appear in ERPS.
In ERPS. Okay.
Also, please forgive me, the motion is for a substitute that I am now passing out to everyone. So,
Motion to defer the substitute.
yes, motion to defer the substitute for 30 days.
Thank you so much. Commissioner Terry, you seconded. And Commissioner Longspears, you've requested to speak. You have the floor.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. My office has been working in partnership with Rachel Handler, with Georgia Equality, and Steve Parker with the DeKalb Democrats on updating and amending our NDO. The NDO passed a few years ago, I believe with full support of this commission, but one of the areas that was left out was around housing. And so we have prepared an item which appears on the agenda, but more importantly, I did distribute to all of you the substitute, which is, while it's not in the color red, but the red line version of the item. I think that it will certainly be a robust conversation in ERPS. And so, Madam ERPS Chair, are you comfortable hearing this item? And I'll tell you why it's going to ERPS. We weren't quite sure which committee to send it to, but the original NDO was heard in ERPS a few years ago, because it was kind of a toss-up between ERPS or OPS, and we weren't sure what to do.
Ask that question.
Right, so that we just decided to continue the committee of jurisdiction. Certainly, if other committee chairs want to hear it, it's fine, but we look forward to a robust conversation in the ERPS committee if Madam Chair agrees.
Yes, we can hear this in ERPS.
Okay, fantastic. And I am certainly open to any commissioner that has any questions or concerns or just wants to discuss the NDO, I also want to elevate that the gentleman that's helped me with so many other of my policy items, Andy Schnegenberger, is not present with us today, but he was certainly a driving force to help us update the NDO. He met several times with our representatives from Georgia Equality and the DeKalb Dems in order to get this right. So I really look forward to our continued conversation, and I yield back. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Commissioner Terry?
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. Thank you, Commissioner Long-Spears, for bringing the ordinance updates forward. I'd love to co-sponsor it.
Sure.
Accepts co-sponsors?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Great, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Commissioner Davis Johnson.
Yeah, I would like to just get a red line version.
Yes, ma'am. So this right here, did you pass it down?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so the red line version, while it's not red, it's purple. But this is actually the red line version. We can email it as well.
Is this purple?
It looks kind of purple to me. Blue, purple, I don't know.
Maybe I'm colorblind.
It is, I don't think it's black.
It's not red, that's definitely true.
So maybe a color that's more evident.
Okay, all right. Ms. Ganga, she will work on that for us, and if you could just email a version with red, so it's a little easier to see, that would be helpful.
Okay.
Thank you. Will do.
You yield, Commissioner Davis Johnson?
Yes.
All right. Commissioner Long-Spears, are you requesting to speak again?
Oh. No, ma'am, I am not.
All right, thank you so much. The motion to defer for 30 days is on the floor. Please open the machine for the vote. Motion to defer the substitute carries. Thank you. Now, under District 3 items, item 2026-1216, budget amendment to increase the general fund for recreation, parks, and cultural affairs, Sugar Creek Tennis and Golf to address the lighting and retention wall for the third tennis court, an amount not to exceed $800,000.
Move for action.
Yes, ma'am. Item 2026-1219, budget amendment to increase the general fund for recreation, parks, and cultural affairs, Porter Sanford Performing Arts and Community Center to address required equipment improvements, amount not to exceed $79,000.
Move for action.
And that action is?
Well, actually, the action is we could take the next one as well, if you don't mind. So, I'm sorry, 1216 and 1219. All right, there you go. So the motion is to defer agenda items ending in 1216 and 1219 to the August 25th BOC meeting with the stop impacts today, August 11th.
Second.
Thank you so much for our motion and a second. Commissioner Terry has requested to speak. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Madam Presiding Officer. And I think just to follow up, so after the PEX committee meeting, it'll be referred to the FAB meeting.
Because it's a budget amendment. Okay.
But we'll be happy to take it, in order. So whenever it's out of PEX, we can take it in FAB.
Thank you. Commissioner Messiah.
Thank you so much. I support that. We just know the use that both of these great landmarks in District 3 are utilized, and even more so seeing the utilization of these of Sugar Creek and of Porter Sanford growing exponentially and being used by almost all of my colleagues, but they're still operating with the same essential resources. So just want to make sure that they have what they need to continue to be well-maintained and to be able to serve the public. So thank you so much, and I yield back to you, Madam P.O.
Thank you, Commissioner Messiah. Commissioner Patrick.
Thank you, Madam P.O. Just clarification, it's going to FAB and PEX today, is that correct?
I don't know if it's going to FAB.
Or
that would be great. Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you.
But question on that, Mr. FAB Chair, FAB meets first before PEX, so we're good with that? Okay, just one.
Thank you.
Open to it, but just want to make sure we're clear. All right, seeing no other questions, please open machine for the vote. Motion carries for the deferral. Thank you. Now, under District 6 items, item 2026-1215, Super District 6 and District 2, a resolution of the DeKalb County Board of Commission to name the Collinwall Fine Arts Center Amphitheater in honor of Andrew Keenan.
Oh, go ahead, I'll let you do it. You want to pick the date?
Yes, that's fine. September 15th, stop and PEX, and August 25th.
Motion to defer.
Yes.
Okay. Seconded by Commissioner Terry. Thank you. Commissioner Longspires is requested to speak.
Thank you so much, Madam Presiding Officer. I am absolutely delighted that we are proposing to rename the Collinwall Amphitheater in honor of Andrew Keenan. Andrew Keenan has been a leader in our arts community now for decades. He has poured his soul and his heart and his blood, sweat, and tears into Collinwall, and I am so going to miss him terribly when he retires at the end of the year, but his spirit will certainly remain at Collinwall. And I believe that renaming the amphitheater after Andrew is more than appropriate in a way that we can really honor his contributions to the arts community, to our youth, to our seniors, to our veterans, and so on here in DeKalb County. A second point I must make is I serve on the Collinwall Board of Directors. Therefore, per the ethics officer's opinion, I must abstain from this vote. However, my office was excited to work on it, and I'm proud to say that both Madam CEO and Commissioner Ted Terry are also involved and sponsoring this item as well. And thank you, Commissioner Terry, for sponsoring it when I was unable to do so as a result of being a member of their board. Thank you so much, and I yield back.
Thank you so much. I see no further requests to speak. Please open machine for the vote. Oh, Commissioner Davis Johnson. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Is your mic on?
Yeah. I don't have any problem with it because it's the amphitheater and not the Collinwall Arts. I don't have any problem with it. But I would assume if you have a conflict of voting, you have a conflict of promoting. Is that what promoting?
Promoting?
Yeah, promoting these elections. And I may be wrong, but, you know, I abstained from pensions.
Sure.
And I don't advocate for pensions. So can I do that?
The opinion that I received
that's
from...
what I just wanted to ask.
Okay, ask the lawyers?
Yeah, I'm saying if I'm abstaining for a conflict, can I promote what I have the conflict for, even
That's a
if
good
I
question.
don't vote for it?
Attorney Phillips.
Because I always have to abstain from pension, and it was my understanding that I should not comment or give my personal opinion if I have a conflict, and I say I'm abstaining because of a conflict. And I don't have a problem, but I would like to comment on some things that I have not been able to comment on.
May I, Madam?
Yes, please.
Presiding Officer? Commissioner, if you feel a need to abstain because of a conflict, then it is probably best practice to abstain from the deliberation as well.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to know, thank you. Nothing about what you had to say, but
Sure.
I wanted to know if I could comment on
Sure.
pension
There
if
you
I'm
go.
abstaining
All right.
based on a conflict. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. I see there were no other requests to speak. Please open machine for the vote. Motion to defer carries. Bottom of page 6, under the CEO's office, item 2026-1214, all commission districts, a supplemental resolution approving the issuance of the Housing Authority of the County of DeKalb, Georgia taxable revenue bonds, Housing Investment Bond Program Series 2026, in the aggregate principal amount to be determined for the purpose of funding the Housing Investment Bond Program and authorizing the execution and delivery of an intergovernmental housing cooperation agreement between the county, the housing, and the Housing Authority of the County of DeKalb, Georgia.
Motion to defer to the August 25th BOC meeting with a stop in FAB this afternoon.
Second.
Motion and a second to defer. Please open the machine for the vote. Motion to defer carries. We are now top of page 7 under Finance, item 2026-1224, the renewal of a contract with Urban League of Greater Atlanta for the operation of the DeKalb County Water and Sewer Customer Assistance Programs.
Motion to defer to the August 25th meeting with a stop in FAB this afternoon.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Commissioner Patrick, you have requested to speak. You have the floor, sir.
Yeah, I would enjoy an opportunity to have this at PWI as well, so I'd like to ask the mover if he could accommodate PWI and before it goes forward.
Yes, so moved.
All right, thank you. See,
And staff can work out the date for PWI so it coordinates with FAB as well. Perfect, thank you.
thank you, Commissioner Patrick. Seeing no further requests to speak, please open the machine for the vote. Motion to defer carries. Under Planning and Sustainability, item 2026-1190, application of the Director of Planning and Sustainability to request that the Board of Commissioners approve a resolution for renewal of the service delivery strategy for DeKalb County, Georgia.
I have a motion to defer to the August 25th BOC with a stop in PEX today.
Second.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Please open the machine for the vote. That motion to defer carries. We are now under purchasing and contracting. We have one item for the FAB committee. Item 2026-1144, change order number 2 to contract number 2000521, upfitting of government-owned emergency response vehicles. Multiple awards scheduled, General Service Administration, cooperative agreement for use by the Marshal's Office to outfit 10 new vehicles, seeking increase in contract funds, awarded to Dana Safety Supply, Inc., amount not to exceed $302,400.34. It's a FAB item.
Motion to defer to the August 25th meeting with a stop in FAB today.
Second.
Thank you so much. Please open the machine for the vote. That motion to defer carries. We are now under purchasing and contracting for the Ops Committee. Item, first two together, thank you, ma'am. Item 2026-1121, change order number 1 to contract number 1367915, light bulbs, fixtures, lamps, and ballasts for use by the Department of Facilities Management to obtain light bulbs, fixtures, lamps, and ballasts for upgrades under Health Centers project. Seeking increase in contract funds awarded to Summit Lighting Solutions, amount not to exceed $1,111,163.
Move for action.
Thank you. Top of page 8, item 2026-1125, change order number 15 to contract number 1147259, elevator, escalator, and walkway maintenance and modernization services and related solutions for use by the Department of Facilities Management to obtain monthly preventative maintenance inspections, testing, and modernization of the county's elevators and associated equipment at Richardson Health Center and West DeKalb Mental Health Center, seeking increase in contract funds, awarded to Cone, Inc., amount not to exceed $1,248,462.64.
Move for action. I make a motion that 261121 and 261125 be deferred to the 8/25 Board of Commission meeting with a stop and ops on 8/18/26.
Second.
Thank you. If you'll hit your buttons for me, please. Motion to defer by Commissioner Davis Johnson, second by Commissioner Bolton. Please open the machine for the vote. Motion to defer carries. Under Recreation, Parks, and Cultural Affairs, item 2026-1175, a resolution to commit to the implementation of park improvement projects for the purpose of and to authorize submission of applications for grant funds to Georgia Department of Natural Resources of the Land and Water Conservation Fund and for the Georgia Outdoor Stewardship Program Lake and Dam renovation projects at Exchange Park located at 2775 Columbia Drive, Decatur, Georgia, 30034, parcel 15103010001, Chapel Hill Park located at 4002 Lehigh Boulevard, Decatur, Georgia, 30034, parcel 15035080005, and Davidson Arabia Nature Preserve located at 7162 South Goddard Road, Stonecrest, Georgia, 30038, parcel 16143010004, and Pleasantdale Park Improvement Project located at 3650 Pleasantdale Road, Doraville, Georgia, 30340, parcel 16143010013. Is this fixed?
Move for action.
Thank you, ma'am. Item 2026-1179, a resolution to commit to the implementation of an outdoor recreation project for the purpose of and to authorize the submission of an application for an outdoor recreation legacy partnership grant through the Land and Water Conservation Fund for improvements to Toby Grant Park located at 593 Parkdale Drive, Scottdale, Georgia, 30079, parcel 18046010049.
Move for action. Madam PO, I have a motion to defer items ending in 1175 and 1179 to the August 25th BOC with a stop in PEX today.
Second.
Thank you so much. Commissioner Bolton, you've requested to speak. You have the floor.
Just a question about whether there was a park left off of item 1175 that's in District 6, Super 6.
Director Bass.
Because all the ones listed were in Super District 7.
Yes.
Good morning. Let me verify that really quick. I do know there are several parks specific, and I do believe there is one in District 6, so let me verify that, and I can jump forward.
And the item 1179, that one is in District 6, but I think the question is if there's any in 1175 that's missing.
You can verify that.
All right, thank you so much. All right, seeing it's yield, ma'am.
I yield back.
Thank you. Seeing no other requests to speak, please open the machine for the vote. Motion to defer carries. Bottom of page 8, under Solicitor for the State Court, item 2026-1211, all commission districts will be impacted. The Solicitor General's office requests to assume the lease for the vacant office space at 160 Claremont from the District Attorney's Office as of September 1, 2026. The cost will be approximately $106,000 for the remainder of 2026.
Motion to defer to the August 25th BOC meeting with a stop and fab today.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you, ma'am, for your second. Please open machine for the vote. Motion to defer carries. Top of page 9, under Watershed Management, item 2026-1180, agreement for the construction and financing of sewer upgrades with PPF AMLI 750 Commerce Drive LLC with a contribution of $168,500.
Yes, motion to defer to the 825 BOC meeting with a prior stop at PWI.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Commissioner Terry, for your second. Please open machine for the vote. Motion to defer carries. Under WorkSource DeKalb, item 2026-1134, acceptance of multiple Federal Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act grants, Adult Dislocated Worker and Youth for Program Year 2026 from the Technical College System of Georgia, not to exceed $2,863,013. Is this?
It is PEX. So motion to approve.
Motion to approve. All right. Seconded by Commissioner Long Spears. Please open the machine for the vote. That motion to approve is carried. We are now middle of page 9 under items for decision by the board. First is a District 2 item. Not that I'm aware of. All right, we are just handed a substitute for this item. Item 2024-0842, a resolution to amend the Board of Commissioners standing procedural rules. And I do believe this takes 2 readings. So this would be the first reading. Is there a motion?
This takes 2 readings.
Yes, ma'am. Is your mic on? This would be the first.
And this is the first reading. Okay, then, so I need to make a motion to defer.
Attorney Phillips,
To approve.
is the recommendation to make a motion to defer?
Can I?
To approve or defer?
The recommendation is to approve and defer for the second reading.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I make a motion to approve and defer for the second reading. And then I have a comment.
All right.
And that deferral would be to the 8:25 meeting, Commissioner Davis Johnson?
And it is for the
The
substitute.
yeah, for the substitute.
Thank you. All right, Commissioner Long Spears, you hit the button first. You have the floor, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Madam Presiding Officer. I sponsored this item 2 years ago, and I do want to thank the Ops Chair and the Ops Committee for continuing to focus on it, hear it in committee, go through it line by line, making sure that we get it right. So thank you very much. I look forward to going through and just reviewing the final version of this. So my question to you, Madam Chair, if there's anything in the final version that gives us pause or we wanted to discuss further, would you like us just to send you an email or to the Chief of Staff? Is that easiest?
That would be fine.
Okay, I'll certainly do that before the next reading.
Okay.
Okay, fantastic. All right, thank you so much, and I yield back.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Terry.
Thank you. I think it might be premature to do the first approval because this is the first time that we're receiving it packaged like this.
I'm sorry, could you speak a little bit louder and speak into your mic?
So I do think it's a little premature to recommend approval for the first read because we just received the packet in totality for review. So I think it would be difficult for me to vote for approval because I've just received the actual red lines. It does look like in the memo that it is referring to, well, it says pages, yeah, so the very end of the memo, it says pages 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 11, 13, and 14 are capitalization changes. Yeah, I'm not seeing okay, here it is, page 7. So legislative resolution review and sponsorship process, new section added based on committee consensus. And I think that, I know we have to get 5 votes to change the rules, but the section on page 7, which is agenda and preliminary items, agenda publication. So the substantive change here is actually quite substantive because it is requiring one commissioner To submit a proposal for review, the originating commissioner shall obtain 2 additional commissioner sponsors to support consideration for the proposed legislation. So I do think there's a couple issues with this language. Number one, if all 3 of those commissioners are on a committee, it basically is sort of circumventing the committee process in sort of a very clear, obvious way. And so it sort of calls into question whether the committee, as I guess defined by the county attorney, is a meeting of the Board of Commissioners and meets certain quorum requirements and public notices. So I think that has to be addressed. So, and there's probably ways that, can be sort of, it can be done, worked around operationally, but I think, in the spirit of the committee process, it would, to me, make sense that if any of the 3 commissioners are all on the same committee, that legislation, that the legislation wouldn't be required to have 3 commissioners. It could just simply have 2 commissioners. So that's kind of a nuance. I do think, though, however, generally speaking, the requirement for 3 commissioners is, I might call it a super minority, if you will. You only need 1 more vote once you get 3 sponsors. And I understand what I've heard from my colleagues on the committee, that basically they're concerned we're just spending too much time discussing legislation that 1 commissioner introduces. And so my suggestion in the committee, which was not recommended ultimately, was just simply have a sponsor and a co-sponsor. If you look at Robert's Rules of Order, that basically is how you discuss things on the body. And so to me, it would make most practical sense to simply say a commissioner and a co-sponsor before the item is added to the agenda and then placed through the process. I think if you make it 3 commissioners, you're creating an artificial barrier that is meant potentially to suppress certain ideas or policies that might not have 3 commissioners but still have merit. For instance, if there was something happening in District 3 and 6 that was really important to us, but it wasn't important to any of the other 5 commissioners, 3 and 6 wouldn't be able to advance legislation that would benefit or support the issues in their district simply because of that superminority rule. So I would suggest first that we defer the item before we approve it, simply for the purposes so we could actually read it. I don't think it's fair for us to go ahead and approve an item if we haven't read it. And then I do think that there isn't consensus, at least in my opinion, on the board on the section 3 as it relates to the legislative sponsorship section. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Terry. Commissioner Davis Johnson.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank Commissioner Spears for initiating this step to amend the rules. And I also appreciate, because it was a very narrow, I think, first step as to how we would amend the rules, but then all commissioners gave input and suggestions as to their recommended amendments, which made it so much broader and so much inclusive. So I would like to, I appreciate all of the effort that every commissioner put into this item to get it where we are today. Secondly, I appreciate your comments, Commissioner Terry. I think that you was probably the only commissioner that was not on the committee that have attended either in person or on conference call every meeting that we had discussing these procedures. So I'm sure that you're quite aware of the discussions, the input that we had from everyone in bringing this item to the point where we are now. And in fact, the last meeting that you were at, I think you raised some of the same concerns, which were addressed in the meeting by the county attorney and members on the committee as how you navigate the effort in bringing forth a resolution where 2 or 3 committee members sat on that same committee. With that intense discussion, it was unanimously approved in the Ops Committee. So my, any concerns, as I think that Commissioner Long Spears just brought up, if you have any concerns that you want to bring to the address and the next meeting, please feel free to do so. But your concerns, as you addressed today, have been addressed in the commission meetings, in the committee meetings, and it was unanimously approved. So with that, my approval stand, and with the deferral. So thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Terry, your second opportunity.
Yes, thank you. I do remember the discussion in the Ops Committee, I think, over a month ago regarding the committee quorum issues related to this proposed rule change. And so County Attorney Phillips has the Law Department provided a memo to the board on any of the concerns or implications or the approval of this change as it relates to the quorum of the committee.
Commissioner, what I'm comfortable telling you is we participated in the discussions at the committee level, and we have reviewed what's been presented to you as a substitute. I trust from central staff it is what we have looked at with them, and we can certainly approve that as to form each of the items that are there.
Okay, so I think that one of the discussions was that if 2 commissioners are on a committee, they're not allowed to meet outside a public meeting to discuss, well, y'all say anything. I think it should be really just the committee. But I think you should send back around that memo, number one, because it does seem to indicate that 2 commissioners on a committee can never meet individually about anything that might be business of the county. 2, I think it was suggested that the way to work around that is just have staff talk to staff. And so I guess that's the technical way to get around an open meetings requirement. Commissioners aren't meeting, but staff are meeting. But the spirit, I think, and the purpose here is creating artificial barriers that would otherwise suppress the ability of any one commissioner to fully represent their district. I think what we're doing here is actually suppressing any dissenting opinions and views. And I will point out, Madam Chair, that a lot of this actually began because I raised the issue of needing to change just one section of the rule book related to the working groups. And I am a little disappointed because when I look at the section under working groups, there's been no changes. And you know for a fact that, because we were on ops together at one point, that I have raised this issue of deleting the word "in lieu of a committee meeting" from this section. And for whatever reason, it seemed like everyone didn't have a problem with that, but it didn't make it into this draft. So I'm curious if you could explain why that particular change, very minor change, was excluded from your final recommendations.
Are you asking Commissioner Davis Johnson directly?
Yeah, she's the chair.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah, off the cuff, I don't particularly remember exactly what you're saying, but I will say this. Everything, you were at every...
I will allow her to finish answering your question.
Yeah, you were at every meeting, every discussion, so I can look back and refresh my memory as to what may have happened, but evidently it was not accepted by the committee. But I don't know why right now. I'd have to refresh my memory. But, that's the only thing I could say. This process has been taking place over a year and a half. And so, so I would have to refresh my memory on that. But generally, I can say it was not adopted by the committee.
Thank you, ma'am. Commissioner Messiah.
Thank you so much, Madam Pio. And I respect all of the work that everybody has put in. And I'm not certain, I haven't been to every single one of the meetings. Not sure why the in lieu of committee didn't make it in, but to the extent Chair is amenable and the rest of my colleagues, just want to air my support of making that adjustment as well, since I had not shared that in the past. I'll say particularly when we were dealing with the housing, a lot of housing agenda items, particularly around the creation of a trust and reduction of square footage and a number of other things, just realizing it was necessary to bring in not just the Board of Commissioners, but other folks that would have an opportunity to speak in other departments, including DeKalb, our Housing Authority, and others, just to make sure that we got a better context of some of the agenda, Dr. Ferguson, a better context of some of the numerous agenda items related to affordable housing and housing that's affordable, and those efforts that the county is making. And so in asking, legal and trying to be clear as to, not only as the chair of PECS, if we can have a work group opposed to just a committee meeting, and those words in lieu of. So it's not a replacement of, it is saying that in addition to, and there was a huge holdup on that verbiage specifically. And so what I would think that would be great is when we have some of these massive issues that we are dealing with that necessitates more than just the time that we have to be able to allow to it in committee, if we can ensure that it is clear that we can have a work group, discuss it as colleagues, bring in other individuals, including experts and folks from the community, to have a round table discussion when it comes to these agenda items, I think would be great. And if that verbiage is what's holding it up, then, to the extent the chair is amenable and the rest of the folks on the committee, then maybe we can consider, if not just removing it, maybe some other language that may be helpful to attain that goal. With that, I yield back to you, Madam Pio. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Long-Spears. Your second opportunity.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. I concur with my colleagues on the in lieu of. As Commissioner Messiah stated, it does create conflicts and issues with trying to do a different format or to really focus on a single issue. As she elevated housing, I experienced that issue in 2024 when we were trying to host a town hall related to housing. We were able to pull it off, but it took considerable time and planning and coordination with the law department, facilities, planning, and then our external speakers as well. So I certainly support that change to the Blue Book. Thank you so much. Yield back.
Thank you, Commissioner Long-Spears. Commissioner Bolton.
Thank you, Madam
First
Pio.
opportunity.
Yes, ma'am. And I just want to make sure we're clear with whether this is the exhaustive list. From what I recall in the last meeting, there may have been one or two items that we did not get consensus on, and that would be brought back later. So if we could get someone from central staff just to confirm that to be true, and if you recall what those one or two items are, so that the full board knows this is not everything. These are just the things we received consensus on.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Commissioners. Welcome back. I'm glad to be back. No, Commissioner is correct. There is not just one or two, but there are more things that need to be reviewed further. We have a separate list for the law department. Staff will be continuing to review those things internally and then bring it back to the board for your review. And the in lieu of is part of that list as well.
Right, and that's what I wanted to make sure so that we didn't get a bunch of additions today. There will be another round of approvals. So just like Commissioner Long Spears communicated, if there's something that you guys see that you want to bring to the chair's attention, then there is more time to do that. I yield back.
Thank you so much. I see no further requests to speak. You're up there again. Okay, go ahead, ma'am, your second opportunity.
And, yeah, that was one thing I had jotted down that I didn't say. But Commissioner Bowden, you have my back on that, and I appreciate it. Yeah, this was not the entire regulations. These are the regulations that we have all come to consensus on. Because what we're trying to do is to, excuse me, we're trying to get to the point where we can pass the rules as well as the charter review before the end of the year. Definitely want to make sure that we focus our attention after this on the charter review so that we can send our recommendations to the state prior to them convening for the next legislative session. So thank you, Commissioner Bowden.
Thank you, Commissioner Davis Johnson. Commissioner Messiah, your second opportunity.
Thank you so much. And again, trying to just make sure I'm staying within, the spirit of in the meeting and the work group, because I don't want to, and I appreciate that there's more of an opportunity we can follow up. But in the spirit just related to the work group and just wanting to make sure that we can all move through our committees and the agenda, and that there are conversations that are able to be had when they're ethically to do so. Just wanting to have a confirmation from legal at this point. So two commissioners cannot meet if they're on the same committee or even outside of the committee. Just want to make sure things are clear there.
That is correct.
Okay. Yeah. All right, fantastic. I just wanted to make sure I was clear there. I thought that was the case. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. I yield back to you, Madam P.O.
Thank you so much. Seeing no further requests to speak on this item, please open the machine for the vote. And this is to approve and then defer for the second read. Approval carries. Thank you. We are now moving to, that eliminates 2 pages out of the agenda. We got one more item. Yay. Top of page 12. So I was the only one that was going to get really excited. Under Commission District, Super District 6, item 2026-0982, a resolution urging the administration implement the specific recommendations, excuse me, outlined in the DeKalb County Racial Equity Study as adopted in 2025. Looks like this is a PEX item.
Thank you so much, Madam P.O. Motion to defer to the August 25th BOC meeting with the stop and PEX today.
Thank you.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Long Spears. Did you request?
She did.
I did. And so, again, thankful to the administration who has updated us on some of the efforts that they've made related to the implementation of the racial equity study, as a sponsor bringing forward the recommendations that were brought up in the study. I could appreciate my colleague wanting to ensure that things are moving along. Thankful that we got the communication from the administration to show the things that have been moving along, and I'm hoping that we can consider in discussion in PEX whether the urgency agenda item is specifically needed, or if we expect this to, continue to move in lockstep of what's needed here in the district related to racial equity and that study. I yield back to you, Madam P.O. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Messiah. The machine is open for the vote.
Oh,
Motion-
this is a motion to defer.
Motion to defer to the August 25th with a stop in PEX. That motion to defer carries. Attorney Phillips, do we have executive session today?
I thought we did.
No, we do not.
Well played, sir.
That was our
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Well played, please.
Now, that was dry humor.
That motion to adjourn carries. Thank you, everybody.